it's doing its job then. You should always be scared by the notification. It's scary. It's scary. Hahaha, but guys, guess what we're doing today? When I did this, I fully forgot fix my window capture. Oh no, we'll see if it works. You should be scared. You know what? I've said it. I believe you should be scared. I'm scary. Rawr. I can't believe I said that. Fully said that. In real life. I said that. You scared me. Rawr. We were doing, in one of my classes, because it's one of my classes right now are math and communication, because I don't know, but in the comms class we did Myers-Briggs personality types, and I did it. I've done it several times before, and typically I get INFP, or some such variant. Which is really, yeah, no, INFP. I've gotten ENTP and ENFP, and I think I've gotten ENTP as well, which is really funny. Because it's like the opposite. It's the mediator and the debater. I guess when I've been feeling more charitable. But, yeah, no, that's it. Math meet. Oh my god, sing. Shaved your head today and you feel so weird. Yeah, it's significantly colder. I like to, whenever I shave my head, I like to run my hand. You're INTP? OMG! No. I'm on something else right now. I'm not on anything, I don't do drugs, but INFP thing? I made this joke, to Kuso, because Kuso's also an INFP, but INFP is the queer neurodivergent subcategory, Myers-Briggs personality type. It's, the majority of people I know are, not the majority, but a lot of people I know are INFP. It's apparently one of the rarer personality types, at least in terms of the Myers-Briggs, distribution. It's like 2% of the people who do Myers-Briggs are INFP. I just thought that was really funny. Music is so loud. Sorry. Okay. I can't tell. I always have the volume different on my headphones because I can't stand sounds, as we all know. No, like I have my headphones. Is that better? I can't tell. It's been turned all the way back up. I don't know. Oh no, we're just saying I'm INFP and I made the joke. It's the queer neurodivergent MBT. You didn't share the whatever drug you're on? I'm not on any. This is just how I am. So your girlfriend hated your obsession with Japanese food. Sushi left me. Ha ha ha. You want drug? No drug. No drug. Anyway, writing? Question mark? You're in monster rehab? You should be. You should not be drinking that much caffeine. No child should. You're dying here for 2 reasons. From addiction, reading. Yes. So, guess who, wait. Can you guys guess what's wrong with my mouse? It keeps double clicking. There's nothing on my thing that actually is bad, but it's fine. It's fine. Do you guys know what we're doing today? Do you guys know what we're doing today? It's just iced tea with energy. Okay. Like 5-hour energy. You don't want to do this anymore, slash shit. Anyway, should I watch it? Should we look at the comic first or after? Or not? Well, we won't look at the comic. Okay. We're reading Treats and Threats because I was asked to do reading and editing, quote unquote. We're gonna move the chat actually because it's in the way. No, not that. That's not the chat. Still not the chat. Move you up here. You guys can sit in the corner. Think about being done. It's important for plot, but you know enough lore either way, so it's ready to be traumatized. I'm not mean. Anyway, so teen in audiences, no archive warnings, Jen, slash Jen. Danny Phantom, Danny Fenton and Valerie Gray and Cujo, Valerie Gray, Cujo, blah, blah, blah. Implied Gray Ghost? Like they're gonna get together eventually, but not in this story. Crack treated seriously. Identity shenanigans. Valerie Gray and Danny Phantom share custody of Cujo. TikToker Danny Fenton. Energy is high in this one. Okay. I forgot about he coming. He what? Cujo is a dog? To be clear. Yeah. I'm not mean. Oh no, you have swear words in this. Damn it. Okay, Valerie was gonna kick Phantom's butt for this. Did he think she wouldn't notice? Yeah, did he think he... I don't know why I can't read. Did he think she wouldn't notice? She looked over to Cujo, who was sniffing all over her room. He just came over, as he often did. Phantom? Like... Who is this he? Fenton liked to think they had a set custody schedule or whatever it was he called it, but in reality Cujo just came— oh, was it Cujo? Okay. Just came by whatever he wanted into whichever of them he wanted. I'm crying. Yeah, you are mean, actually. I do. We know that. There's a lot. Oh dear, the music is still so loud. He was Cujo. Okay, I was just checking. Let me just manually turn down the volume. Okay. And turn down the music. Jesus. She was reluctant to adopt the ghost dog at first. Yeah, she wasn't as mad at him anymore after she finally listened to Phantom and found out why exactly Cujo was now a ghost. Wow, that's a lot to say in one breath. But that didn't mean... And by that, it's a lot to say in one breath. There should be, like, a break here somewhere. She wasn't mad at him anymore after she finally listened to Phantom. Probably a comma there or something, I don't know. But that didn't mean she had to like him. He was incredibly persistent, though, and the more time Valerie spent around the dog, the more she started loving him. She's a tiny little puppy, a ball of joy who wanted to play all the time. Okay, yeah, the pronouns are a little bit... Reluctant to adopt the ghost dog at first. Yeah, she wasn't mad at him anymore after she finally listened to Phantom and found out why exactly Cujo was there. She wasn't mad at the dog anymore? There are tears from here. Since May 2026. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't know why. My brain keeps thinking my brain keeps thinking you're talking about Danny. Ball of joy who wanted to play all the time. She even kept some treats for him for whenever he came over and started making and buying him some dog clothes. Again, this sentence is... It's not that the sentence is too long, but the way it's structured, it should either be commaed or... That might be a comma splice. You can do comma splices, honestly, do comma splices, but, should, you know. If you can hear me running out of breath, I'm having opportunities to hate structuring sentences, too bad. He loved dressing up, especially when they got to match, and it made Phantom jealous, so it was just bonus points for her, really. Phantom used to insist that the dog wasn't his, but now it seemed like they were fighting for who gets to have him. Okay, she was fighting. That idiot seemed delighted to share the custody. He kept making jokes about them being a family, which was generally— this should be a full stop. In my opinion, preface this to— I hit my spider. Preface this— not my real spider, the one that hangs out on my microphone. Preface this to say, this is my opinion. take it if you want. It's like a punctuation to add. I like your writing voice though. It's not. It's cool. It's fun. It's fun. I like it because I can read it and it doesn't sound as weird. She kept making jokes about them being a family, which is genuinely getting on her nerves. He was so infuriating. She had agreed to a truce with him after finding out he was right about Vlad. That didn't mean she had to enjoy sharing Cujo with that menace. He was too careless and brute with the puppy, like a brute or brutal. We're working on it. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be May. Brutal. Oop, too bad. Which is exactly why she needed to find him right now and kill him. Truce be damned. That's funny. Unfortunately for her, the ghost attacks have been kind on the down low lately, and she had no idea where we hung out when he wasn't fighting them. Again, long sentence. She did send him a bunch of text messages and even tried calling, which was still so weird. How did he even get that phone? But she was sent a voicemail every time. If only there was a way for her to track him down. She glanced at Cujo, who had his head stuck in the plastic box of treats. She sighed. Truly nothing could stop a ghost dog. She always tried hiding these from him, but no matter where she put the box, he always managed to sniff it out. Managed. I don't know why I said managed twice. That stuck out to me. Yeah, I don't know why. That was weird. Okay. She that which gave her an idea. If he could sniff these out, then maybe. Personally, would not do this. The double manage is a word I use a lot. You can spell nice. You might have, this might keep happening where they're not actually near each other, but because I've noticed it a bunch further, or like before my writing, my brain will repeat it again in my head, and I will say it again. But yeah, if only there's a way for her to track him down. Usually when this happens, usually this is the revelation, and so it's weird to have both of these, or at least, yeah, it's again, to me, it's weird to have both of these. I'd probably do, if only there was a way for her to track him down, and then blah blah blah, sees that he's sniffing things, which gave her an idea, and then like have it, yeah, but you know, that's just me being like, do not repeat things near each other. I shouldn't be able to see the same word or same thing beside each other. But yeah, do whatever you want. Cujo, baby, you know you're not supposed to eat those. She gently pushed his head out of the box. If you really wanted to, he could just phase through her hand and continue, but he was a good boy and always listened. Yet he kept his eyes on the treats as if they would disappear at any moment. She chuckled. I don't like that. That's just a preference. Again, that's just a point of opinion. I don't like that. I don't like this yet. It's fine. I'll give you a treat if you do something for me, she said, and his eyes instantly snapped to her. His tail slowly swayed back and forth. Can you find Phantom for me? Sniff him out? I'm excited emotions because I can feel the emotions of hers going through. The weird hearing it be read out loud. You really should be reading the stuff you write out loud. All of my stuff gets read out loud to me, or at least gets, yeah, no, most of it gets read out loud. That's how I can tell how words sound together. If I do proper editing. To be fair, I do that mostly for proper editing or stuff I'm really honed in, like scenes I'm very honed in on, but it's fine. Cujo blinked at her before barking happily, tail full on wagging now. He phased through her hand and made his way through the bedroom window. She quickly jumped to follow him, nearly yanking the window off its hinges, her suit making a humming sound as it activated. He got quite ahead of her, but she managed to keep up just fine. She'd have his ecto signature marked in her tracker just in case she ever lost track of him. That's a lot in a sentence. But she also had phantoms, and that one tended to disappear off her radar at random. She wasn't so inclined to test if Cujo's wouldn't do the same. I think that is technically a double negative. Because the sentence would still work if it was she wasn't so inclined to test if Cujo's would do the same. I think it technically is still correct, but I'm saying that's right. Anyway, they flew their way through Amity Park before Cujo suddenly took a sharp turn towards her high school. Again, I know enough about the lore to know that I'm pretty sure in the show she's like, she can fly. She's like a hoverboard or something. Still, weird as hell or maybe it's just her suit. I don't know. As someone who doesn't actually know that much about the show and is coming into this kind of blind, no clue how she's moving around. I don't know what she's doing. She's following. He ran out the window. Her room on the first floor, the second floor. Her suit's making a humming sound. What's happening? She's using the suit just to track his signature. This probably would be fine if I knew anything about the backstory in this, but I don't, so I'm gonna say these things. And also flew. I'm thinking she can fly. I don't know how, and I don't know why. Okay. Hoverboard, yeah. I'm suffering emotion here. Kai, I'm sorry. I was gonna say we'll read something I wrote. If you have one of my shorter fics you want me to read on stream and then like talk about, do the same thing for that one, I'll do that. And also it'll be fun because I like talking about my fics and my thought process because I remember most of them. Memories are stored in the words. I know what I'm thinking. She saw him growing into his bigger form before he disappeared behind the building. What is he do? I also want to mention there is it's all like it's fine for what this story is, but there's a distinct lack of like imagery and setting in any of this. This is mostly just plot, which is why you see this is also a thing with just like I've noticed a lot of fics in general that and doing it on a computer that the paragraphs seem to all look like one or two or three lines, but this is also something you'll very easily see in things that are just plot and like character moving, but there's like no imagery. I have no clue what anything looks like. This relies very heavily on me having a previous understanding of this world that we're in, and I have a little bit. I don't know much about what I'm looking at. I'm not being mean. Said you lack lore. Yeah, that's not my fault necessarily. Again, we're not doing fan fiction assessment. We're doing writing assessment. I shouldn't need to know exactly the backstory of everything to get an idea of what a thing or a place looks like in a story. Honestly, you should still give me a little bit. I never watched an annotation video for just voices less calm. Maybe stop watching the videos where I'm critical about stuff. But yeah, give me something to work off of. Like you're just kind of spitting things at me, like active signature, tracker, suit that's turning on. Give me something. He was holding someone in his mouth. Again, like growing into his bigger form before he disappeared behind the building. And then he is holding someone in his mouth. I have no context of how big he is, so that's really weird. So suddenly I'm like, oh wow, he's bigger than I thought. Chest is getting very tight right now, getting woozy lightheaded. Maybe you shouldn't be watching the stream. Oh no, Kai, calm down. It's all lighthearted. It's all jokes. It's all my opinion. Nothing matters. It's fine. Nothing matters. Oh god. As she rounded the corner, she saw Cujo's back, tail wagging. It seemed like she was holding someone in his mouth. Yeah, maybe calm down. Like Clifford Huge, cool. Thing about writing especially when it's like not intentional for it to be misleading or confusing or something like that. You want to go for clarity and like understandability a lot. So if you're saying something and that's not referencing something already in text, or like bare bones basis kind of thing, it should still reference things that are in text. If you're gonna talk about something, it should reference something in text. If it's important to what's happening in a scene or a story or plot elements and things like that. Give me something. You gotta give me something. You're so panicking. Baby, you ain't even on the chopping block. Take a deep breath, get some water. Maybe don't listen to the stream for a little bit. Calm down. Yeah. Calm down, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Gotcha, ghost boy. She landed behind the dog and could hear his captain yelling. Where's the punctuation, Deborah? 80 BPM Lamau. 80's actually pretty standard. Resting heart rate is typically around 60 to 90. But if you're usually below that, then yeah. How do you punctuate that? You put a period? Depends on what you're going for. I'm behind the dog and could hear his captive yelling. Period. Is 58? That's not normal. That's fine. Wow, usually a low heart rate like that is not great. Anyway, we'll not go into that. To land behind the dog and could hear I keep going back there. Kuju, I can't right now. I told you to go to Kuju turned around to show his catch to Valerie and oh hey. Hi Red. Huntress. That was not Danny Phantom, that was Danny Fenton. Well, seeing it in text like this makes it even more ridiculous because it's like, yeah, no, that's the same person. That's obviously the same person. Citizen. Kujo, no! Shoot. I'm so sorry, citizen. She quickly raced up to them and coaxed her puppy into releasing her ex-boyfriend, which he did by letting him fall face first on the ground. Word I can't say. Also, did you use single quotations for this? Usually that only happens when you, I don't know if you can see that on stream. Usually this only happens when you use single quotations when they're, they'll go around opposite each other instead of using the, pre-done double one. Your keyboard is broken? Okay. Valerie knelt down next to him to help him rise to his feet. Are you okay? Yeah, he said, standing up to his full height, which was only slightly taller than her. Short. Shorty. Shouting at them apple bottom jeans. Sorry. I looked at her and sent her a bright smile. Sent is not incorrect, but I wouldn't use sent because they're having a direct conversation and she's right in front of him. Personally, the way I'd use it and the way I usually see it being used is if it's over a distance, if it is kind of like an aside, like someone is talking to, like person A is talking to person C, and then person B chimes in and says something, and so person A sends them a look or something like that. Or they're, yeah, like they're far away or they're not directly in conversation. But you can do what you want. We're stressed about the author than the other. Don't worry about it. So far, actually, your dialogue tags and action tags are actually pretty good. She smiled back, knowing that he probably struggled to see it through her visor. His view got even more obscured when Kujo put his huge snout in between them, wagging his tail happily. I see what I'm oh yeah, I was like, there was something about how you were using pronouns and things like that that was like pinging something in my brain, making me go, what's happening? It's because it's in Valerie's POV, but you keep making sentences that are technically not in Valerie's POV, right? Or like just to the side of it, and it's making my brain, it's pinging my brain and making me go, what? Wait, what? I'm a stress, hold this for me. Yeah. So but in reality, it can buy whatever. Like, you should, truth be told, in POV centric writing, the person you should use pronouns the most for, and by maybe not a significant margin, but like, you'll notice it when writing, the person that you should or you probably should use the pronouns most for is the POV character, because in something like this, you do establish, you do this, why do you think she wouldn't notice? Yeah, Valerie's gonna kick Phantom's butt, but did he think she wouldn't notice? And then she looks over to Kujo, who's sniffing all over her room, which makes him the subject of this thought process, this thought train. But we've already established Danny Phantom, as the he in this. So that's why my brain was like, oh, this isn't about the dog here, this is about him, because my brain is relating that stuff here. In this situation, also, because I don't know who Kujo is, what would probably work better would be saying the dog or the puppy or something, or even like repeating Kujo, or having these be the same sentence or something like that. Something like that is what I'd probably say. And then this, my brain was like, why is that wrong? Because generally, when you have epithets like this, it's going to be related to the person who's quote-unquote speaking. It's going to be related to the POV character. So that's why my brain was like so confused. You would usually use his captive, or pronouns captive, if it's the POV character's captive. Stuff like that. Again, you don't have to. Technically, this isn't wrong. I'm just relating what I think and what I'm hearing, and why my brain is pinging me. Oh, and then here, they probably struggled to see it through her visor. His view got more obscured when Kujo put his huge snout in between them and them wagging his tail happily. This is about her, man. Again, not incorrect. Brain's like, oh, are we switching? Oh, we're not? What? Where are we going? Which ended up with him accidentally knocking over some full trash cans standing behind him. I might even do the view, honestly. Got more obscured, but blah blah blah. Nah, blah blah. Gojo, I just cleaned that up, Danny said, resigned. Is resigned an adverb? Or no, that's... In this case, is it an ad? I'm trying to remember. There's too many words. That's adjective. That's why I was like, yeah, no, that's not right. Because this is, so resigned in this case would be an adjective, which you technically can't have, like, it doesn't work as an adjective in this case, because there's nothing to be resigned, because it has to be adjective noun, or adjective referring to noun, and in this case this is adjective referring to verb, which would be an adverb, which is why I was asking if it's an adverb. So it would be, Danny said resignedly, which would make it, like, the ly is what makes it an adverb. You can put on, like, happily, most other adjectives, sadly, things like that, but resignedly is an awkward thing to write and read and is weird, but it could be that, making it to an adverb, or Danny said in a resigned manner, something like that, blah 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 blah. Danny said resigned, moving over to or like he was resigned, because it's referring back to the noun. They're not being English, so it's gonna be fun because I do that a lot. Ooh, nice. Moving over to the garbage. I'm actually gonna have my head if he sees another piece of mutated meat. Alliteration's one of my favorite literary devices, so I do enjoy your use of it. I was fall face first on the ground, and then mutated meat. That's fun. Valley looked at the knocked over trash, and sure enough, it was full of disgusting glowing meat. Punctuation there, my god. Why did my brain read it like that? or at least what was left of it. It looks maimed and burned. Right, he was recording a TikTok during lunch today. She's eating in the library while working on her Miss Homer, so she didn't get to see it herself, but she heard the rumors. Apparently, he put some sort of new ectoplasmic concoction from his parents' lab. It'd be parents, and then apostrophe, like apostrophe after the S, because it's possessive of both of his parents. Which is a thing that apparently people don't know, how to do possessives for multiples, because it's not parents, or, oh no. I don't remember what it is, but people do it wrong, like add more apostrophes or more S's, and I'm like, what are you doing? Oh no, they'll do parents apostrophe S. Yeah, that's what people do, which is not correct. You just put the apostrophe after the S. Or can I come from this? It's fine. I will literally just talk. Lab in his serving of today's mystery meat. Mystery meat. It backfired and spread to every piece of meat in the cafeteria like a disease. You see, that'd be cool to know about. It's fine here because it works, because this is literally just like she's just looking back on it and it's just like, yeah, that's a thing that I didn't see happen, but I would like to know what was going on there. People are saying it was like a zombie apocalypse with all the meat moving around. What? What is the meat? Like, what meal is the meat? You might want to use that instead of meat, because the word meat you're using a lot here. It's fun to say, but a lot of meat. Somebody even said they saw the lunch lady ghost appear for a second before she noticed Danny in the middle of it and left terrified. Which, if that was true, Valerie couldn't blame her. Danny's eating habits probably made her turn in her grave. What else could I call meat? I don't know. Meal? Meatloaf? It's sometimes the meatloaf, sometimes it's just mystery. There are synonyms. Food. Yeah, food. You do like haunted. I don't know. Yeah, there's some words that are like, how do I replace this? And then there's some words that are like, that are easier to replace. People were saying it was like a zombie, but you didn't eat it, did you? She asked, squinting at a small piece of meat that apparently survived whatever happened to the rest of it, and was slowly crawling away from them. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot of words to read. You didn't eat any. You didn't eat it, did you? She asked, squinting at a small piece of meat that apparently survived whatever happened to the rest of it and was slowly crawling away from them, likely trying to escape. It's not like more than my breath than I have the breath for, but still. Danny picked it up and squashed it in his hand before he got far. Ew. Nah, you're good. Obviously I did. He turned to her. Obviously I did. So, when writing, I don't know if this has happened before, but when writing dialogue, that's the word, a lot of times you do actually end the actual dialogue with a comma. If it's a finished statement, then yeah, of course, use a period. If it is followed up by a sentence, like a different sentence, or like a action tag, usually you can use a period. If you're going into dialogue tags like he said, or you have a separate bit of dialogue afterwards, generally you use a comma. Hmm. Hmm. And then also when you do have a period, you do put the capitalization afterwards. But you don't have to do it if it's a comma. Familiar, eating grin on his face, moving the thing he caught closer to his mouth as if to prove a point. Um, Damn him, how could be so endearing even when he was being disgusting. Is he? This here is another example of like, basically not writing the POV in the right way, I guess. Because if this is third person limited, which it is, then like, where are her thoughts that he's ever like at all endearing? She's in love with him, all right. Is she? She doesn't seem like it. Like yeah, a lot of relationships will have that kind of enemy or rivals, enemies to friends to lovers kind of thing. Which is fine, but you gotta give me something that implies that she likes him. I'm going to this pretty objective. She likes the puppy. I mean, no, wait, no. Oh yeah, I have no this is me skipping around. So, I have no context for her relationship with, Danny Fenton, except for the fact that they're exes. I've only had context for Danny Phantom, and that was confusing me. Also, though, there's not real much context for her being like, oh yeah, he's cute. Like, you could have something here, like, she was glad her visor hid her, like, the smile that came over her face. Like, she can't control that she's smiling or blushing or something like that. Give me something. Give me some more description, please. Give me something. Like, Phantom that hates, Phantom. Like, it's can't. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was me getting confused because I forgot that she wasn't talking about Danny Fenton. But still, she ain't talking about him much as a person. Yeah, that's how you'll inject relationship into people's conversations when you have yeah, limited POV. You gotta give them some emotional reactions, and then maybe memories. You can also do like memories of times that they were like together, speaking, hanging out, or something. You can also give the other character some stuff that implies that they like each other. But yeah, I was like, yeah, there's not, because this would definitely be longer. You'd have this be definitely longer if you put in descriptions of stuff. Yeah, give us some descriptions, my dude. What is the mellow vibes tag? I think it's really funny that it's mellow vibes in all caps. Emotions are so hard to write. I actually can do a lesson on emotions sometime. I don't know. Honestly, I don't. So I was having this conversation with my therapist, and when I write, it's like it's not me writing. I can go over what I've done in terms of emotional engagement between two characters from other things I've written, but it's like a hard thing to explain personally. But like I've said before, most of the things I do and see and interact with get translated into some kind of word format in my brain. So if you've ever watched a show or a movie or whatever where two characters or two people have chemistry with each other, they will do things or react to each other in ways that kind of show it. And you take those and you put them on a paper, and stuff like that. So it's like characters will blush or they'll laugh at things that aren't really funny when they like another person, or they'll want to spend a lot of time around a person, or like move closer to that person, or touch them for no reason, or act differently around them. Doesn't even have to be a lot, but even like a little bit differently, or we'll give them lots, or we'll find like their eyes being drawn to that other person. It's just like, how do you notice in other media that two characters have chemistry, or how this person shows this emotion? Not even in media, but in real life too, which is why I do people watching. It's fun. Like, what do you notice about their tone of voice? What do you notice about what they look like, where they're looking, how their body's positioned? These things can help. You can sprinkle them in and be like, hey, I'm implying something. Do you get it? Do you get it? I can smell their emotions but not see them. In my head, that does not translate. The look, TM? Yeah, the look. People watching Sierra Stalker, no, I'm not following specific people. I just look at them. I don't know when someone likes somebody, I don't care how, I just know. Well, that's something you have to figure out. If you can, it doesn't even have to be specifically what other people do, or how other people write it. But if it's something you understand, and you can put it on paper in a way that makes it clear to other people, like, what you're getting, then that'll work too, and it can be an interesting thing of your writing. Another thing, read other people's writing. See how do they make it obvious that other people, because that's a fun thing about reading for writing, is you can just steal other people's things. Just take what other people are doing. Just do it. Just steal from them. Just do it. I do read, but plot is too good. Too bad for you. Like, God, my favorite thing about reading shipfics is finding the little ways that the author either hints or outright tells us that these two are so weird for each other. They're so incredibly weird about each other. Like, it's like like it could be normal if taken out of context, but with all the other things, they're so weird about each other. That's my favorite type of relationship. They're just strange. They're just odd. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I know I love that. Then write it down. It's fun. It's so fun. It doesn't even have to be directly related to this other character. It can be like, oh yeah, these things remind me of that person. Which doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It can just be strong relationships. Because, you know, when you have people that you care about, when you see stuff that you think relates to them, you think about them. It comes up. It's like, oh, that's their favorite color. Or, oh, I'm doing that thing that I've stole from that person, like I'm doing this facial expression, or I'm putting stuff together in a certain way, or oh, that person usually brings me candy for whatever reason, and I want something sweet. I would like it if they brought me candy, something like that. I'm getting off topic. She shook her head chuckling and looked at Cujo instead. Yeah, like, she's chuckling here. Why couldn't that have been before the fact? Why can't we have that before the fact? He's looking right back at her expectantly. Right. No, Cujo, no treats until you find Phantom for me, she said sternly. She saw Danny trip over a trash can laid out of the corner of her eye. Where is he going? Is he leaving? She's in the middle. Are they done this conversation? Why is he moving? How did he trip? What is he doing? Different if he's tripping over thin air, or because that does not require him to be moving. If he's tripping over something, you know. You good there? But yes, yeah, I'm fine. Don't mind me. Tried to act cool, almost losing his footing again. Dork. Okay, that's cute. Yeah. see, things like that where it's not directly related to her, specifically her feelings, imply that she does like him. That's cute. I like that. Could you whine at her, stepping from front paw to front paw and cocking his head to the right. Only his front paws? He's just, his back feet are planted and he's just pivoting around. You just say paw to paw. Cocking his head to the right. You know damn well he looked cute when he did that, no matter which form. Is he still giant? I'm guessing he's still giant, yeah. Baby, no, I'm not gonna cave. Find Phantom and I'll give you a treat then. She said calmly. I don't know if it's if I'm noticing it now just because we're talking about it, but said feels like a lot. He was trying to leave, was he? You didn't tell me that. They pivot? I haven't had a dog in 3 years, man. Yeah. Cute, though. Cute, then. Colin trying to stroke him behind the ear, but since he was in big mode, she had to settle for his cheeks. Reaching. He whined a bit more, letting out a little pathetic bark to go with it. Whined a bit more. Comma. It's also an easy... Reading out loud can help you figure out where to put your punctuations, because it's going to be where you naturally want to make pauses, which is how I do my punctuation. It's not the only way to do punctuation, because you can also do it for like reasons, for effectiveness reasons, but in situations like this, yeah, you could read out loud. What? No, always from now on. You don't have to do it always, but yeah, read out loud more often. He turned and stalked over to Danny, poking him in the back with his nose, which made the boy squeak. No, Cujo, she said. Is he still trying to leave? Again, we've had no context from him other than the fact that he tripped and then he failed at looking cool. And I don't know if he's trying to leave or not, or if he's just standing there T-posing. Give me some description. Give me a little bit. Give me a little bit. I don't know what he's doing. Why not? You're writing. It's up to you. He's T-posing, yes. Write it down then. Okay, he was acting weird. Almost as if he was hiding something. Oh, no, I skipped. No, Cujo, she said, sighing. That's the wrong... You could also do, no, Cujo, she sighed. That's the wrong Danny you're thinking of. Like, you don't need said, especially if they're, again, doing an action. It's up to you. Yeah, buddy, Danny chuckled nervously, petting Cujo's snout. Not the one you're looking for, definitely not. I'm not a phantom, why would you even think that? You're not thinking that, right? Fun descriptions to have if you want, but he's interrogating this dog, this ginormous dog. He could be staring dead into this dog's eyes. He could be wagging a finger at this dog. He could be just like he's nervous though. He could just be staring not at the dog, but just wide-eyed, not looking at anything because he's nervous. It's like, you don't know. You're not thinking about that, right? Why are there fractions? Okay, it was acting weird. It's almost Valerie looked him up and down. His eyes were wide, observing her every move with fear. Oh, now he's looking at her. One arm was rubbing his neck. Now he's not petting Cujo, which he always did when he was nervous. So it's not wrong that you have him looking at her and rubbing his neck here, like written like this. It's just in comparison to the fact that we haven't gotten much of anything else, any other description, it's kind of jarring that I'm trying to figure out what these characters are doing by myself, when I don't know what's coming up, because I can imagine what's going on. I don't, in my head, with him going, yeah, Chuckle petting Cujo's snout, in my head, like I said, I expected him to be looking at Cujo, not looking at her, because he's trying to hide something from her, he's trying not to look at her, that's what I'm thinking. But if the character, for whatever reason, the character's reaction in a moment of, like, fear is to look directly at what's causing them fear, that's not wrong, but you gotta tell me about it. Also, wide-eyed and rubbing a neck is such a funny image, and also not a natural thing people do, which he always did when he was nervous. Other still strong could just for almost instinctively. Oh, that's a lot. He's doing a lot right now. You're wrong. And Kai said, no, read it. I was rolling around stressed around your keyboard, your iPad keyboard. Then it clicked. No freaking way, she uttered, absolutely baffled. It made so much sense. What? He asked, voice cracking. How many times I'll leave you as a dog sitter? That's funny. I like that. That's so funny. Oh, I like that build-up too. Where it kind of sounds like she might be figuring out the truth, but then she just doesn't get it at all. This is really funny, and there's also precedent for that. I like that. She obviously thinks Danny Phantom is a bad person, and that Fenton is not that bad. He's actually pretty chill. But yeah, that's funny. I like that. That's really funny. But this is also a place where if you wanted to, if you really wanted to hammer home that impact, put this by itself. Honestly, put this by himself. And then connect this idea here with this, or something like that. But you could really just, like, just have the dialogue out there. Just let it impact. That's one of the things I like doing, especially with swearing. You know, you've read my stuff. I'm gonna move my spider. 1 second. It might be noisy. It's gonna move Lila. He hired Danny as a babysitter. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, that's the thing. You've read my writing. You know I like doing that. Putting, like, sweary sentences, or specifically swear words, or, particular sentences by themselves for impact. Because it makes you center in on them. It makes you look. It makes it important. I like that. That's funny. She knew Phantom did that. She caught Cujo in the background of one of Danny's TikToks. The fact that he does TikToks is so funny, because this is a show from, like, the 2000s. And when she confronted Phantom about it, he admitted to hiring Danny as a dog sitter sometimes. Why is she saying hiring in quotations? Does she not think that he's being paid? Making TikToks in 2004, yeah. Does she not think he's being paid? Because I don't know if she would have the context, because the quotation implies that she fully thinks that Danny's just having this thrust on him, and he's being forced to do this, or like something nefarious is going on. Maybe she does think something nefarious is going on, but yeah. Ghost would not have money. Okay. If that left Cujo Danny too often, no wonder the poor puppy would mistake Danny for his second caretaker, for his dad. she was gonna kick his irresponsible ghost butt even harder now. I just don't know the context for why they co-adopted this puppy, but whatever. What? Danny tilted his head questionably. You don't need to make this. Adverbs are not evil. Adverbs are not evil, but you made them co-adopted, that's fine. But you can do things without them. You can work around. You can not have them there. Because they stand out, and they look dumb sometimes. No, adverbs are great sometimes, when they're necessary, because you could just have, what? Danny tilted his head in question, right? It doesn't have to be questionably, because also questionably is a little bit vague on what you wrote, and what you're implying. Is him tilting his head questionable? Because it doesn't quite say that what he's saying is, you know what I mean? Like it's implying the wrong thing, right? You hate adverbs, sorry. Don't hate adverbs, they're cool. They work sometimes. I know about the dog sitting Danny, and it looks like he's leaving Kujo with you so often that the dog thinks you're him. Oh, you think? Something about that sentence feels not like something a person would say. And it looks like, I don't know, maybe someone would say it like that. I've dropped something and I don't know what it was. Oh, is it roll of tape? Roll of medical tape. But you could do something that sounds a little bit more natural, like, I know about the dog sitting Danny, and I think Kujo, because you've had him for so often, Kujo thinks, you're Phantom or something. I don't know. Something else, because the wording of the sentence sounds like exposition, which we don't need. Danny does need, but people don't want to talk like that. There's this example I was reading earlier today of a fic that I did finish once upon a time, but that I was rereading because sometimes plot distracts me and then I can get over questionable writing. But I was rereading earlier today and I was like, wow, these people don't talk like, or these characters don't talk like people. Yeah, that's a wow, okay. But I don't want to like insult, and it would kind of be insulting, but I don't want to open up a fic that has not been sanctioned. That is not my own and is not one of yours who have allowed me to read on stream and kind of berate it, because it feels really mean. But it was like a really good example of how to do writing which sounds unnatural and really weird. Anyway, it's so hard to write dialogues. Yeah, it can be really hard to write dialogue if you don't know how people talk. Again, this is a thing where you listen to how people say things. And it might be even like the information she's giving in the sentence is fine, but it is the wording. And the you could do something like you could do something like, Kujo, I asked him to find Phantom for me, but I think he thinks you're him because you've been dog sitting him so much. Something like that. That sounds a little bit more natural, like something a person would tell another person. But yeah, writing is hard. Oh, you think he knitted his eyebrows in confusion before his eyes widened? Were his eyes not already wide? His eyes were already wide. His eyes got wider. Cause he hasn't stopped being nervous the entire time, which is when I would kind of infer that he calmed down. He's not as like scared, but he's been like afraid this entire time. So the fact that his eyes widen more is like, how wide are his eyes getting? You have ADHD, you don't remember? Don't remember what? I don't remember. Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you referring to? What you wrote before? That's what you do. That's why you go back and read your stuff, man. I have like my memory when it comes to writing like certain things, specifically how people behave in scenes, is really good, but mainly because I can see them move in my head for the most part. It does play out like a movie in my brain, so I can see what they do and I can see when their emotions change, which helps me with writing. But if you kind of visualize it like you're looking at them do a thing, because writing is a lot of the more basic writing is sort of like you're just transcribing something you're watching. Anyway, I don't want to read it. Too bad for you. You won't be a better writer if you don't read your own stuff. Oh, haha, he didn't, I mean, it wasn't many times. Maybe like twice. Is this the dog? I didn't even recognize him. I didn't even know his name. Angry dog gif. Oops, oh no. Cujo whined again, turning it into his puppy form and jumped. This is something I also have problems with. It's when gerunds are involved, which is just verbs ending in ing. You have to kind of group them if they're happening by the same character in the same sentence. They have to be the same. The verbs have to be the same. So it'd be turning into his puppy form and jumping into Danny's arms, instead of turning into his puppy form and jumped into Danny's arms. If you wanted to put jumped, you could put and he jumped into Danny's arms. Also, it'd be into, who barely managed to catch him in time. He started sniffing and licking his face, distressed. Yeah, that's also a problem I have. And I'll do the reverse as well. I'll put a past tense with the gerund, so ing implies is happening. Even in past tense, it still kind of is happening or going on, and then ed, like past tense, is has happened, right? Because you could also do because it'll imply the order of the actions, like turning into his puppy form and jumped into Danny's arms implied that he at that time was turning to his puppy form, but he had already jumped into Danny's arms, which does make sense. It makes more sense if you do he turned into his puppy form and is jumping into Danny's arms, so like you have the order of the actions there. Cujo, stop! I mean, dog whose name I don't remember. Liberal use of ellipses. So this is kind of a cultural thing, or yeah, most things are gonna be a cultural thing as well, but it's also, I think, an age thing. Older people do tend to also use ellipses like commas sometimes, but for when I read, when I see ellipses in dialogue, and for I think most of the uses for ellipses in dialogue, it is when a character trails off. Maybe this is what he's meaning to do, but he's doing a lot of it. Is he... Why? Question is why. Like, here, up here he's doing, what? Oh, you think, like, right? Like, it's not, like, cut off. Dog whose name I don't remember. That made Cujo whine harder. Damn you. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna stretch. It's so hot right now, guys. I'm so upset by how hot it is. It's gonna be so hot tomorrow. It's gonna be so hot. Ah! Anyway, staying very close to my iPad, right? I feel like an iPad kid. You are an iPad kid. Also punctuation and capitalization. You gotta capitalize things. That made Cujo whine even harder, and Danny flinched. I don't think that's technically wrong, but it feels incorrect. Because again, you have something that is happening and then something that has happened. So I'd probably put that made Cujo whine even harder, which made Danny flinch. But I don't think that's wrong. He had to put bad punctuation. I hate it. He instantly gave up and buried his face in Cujo's fur. Valerie could barely hear him mutter, "I can't do this to you." He instantly gave up. I honestly, I'd go with the same idea, but I do folded. That's a personal preference. Because I feel like gave up implies that, I know he's very clearly putting on, that kind, like, that, the idea that he doesn't know Cujo, but she's not getting it. Valerie here is not, first of all, Valerie here is not in any of these sentences. Barely. She's here, but, like, she's not involved in this this area, this part at all. Basically, it's like this is from her point of view. Does she not have like thoughts on this? You can even do a thing that I do a lot where the narrator kind of implies the POV's point of view, or yeah, like opinions on stuff. So it's how you describe things. Like because here you have it very, very objective. He knitted his eyebrows in confusion before his eyes widened. Which is, oh, he is actually confused by what she's saying, and then he's realizing something. Which makes it sound like the person who's watching this is thinking, oh, he's just confused, and then he's understanding what's going on. And then there's no, physical markers of him putting on a sham. It's just the things he's saying. But if you put like I don't actually know what you'd put, but he tried to pretend that that he didn't know Cujo, something like that, something that that his physical body is doing, or even if you want to do it from Valerie's perspective, like you could put specifically like she watched him pretend that he did not know this dog, or you could have the narration call him out for doing a terrible job at pretending he didn't know this dog. 1.1 mil? What are you saying? I think is you forgetting that I'm writing from someone's POV and not reader's POV? Yeah. That's why it is important to know what point of view you're talking from, which is also why, because you've read my fics before and my other writing, this is why I can pack so much information into my writing, and why I can spread it out so much more. Yeah, like I can spread out my exposition a lot. It's because people are always thinking, and they're always relating things to other things, even if they don't think it in words or say it out loud. The brain's always working. The brain's always doing stuff. And so you can get a lot of information if you're just like, hey, what's this person thinking about, right? You have 1,100 points. Nice. But yeah. Drawing your redeems in a theme because aesthetic. OMG! OMG, cute. People think? You definitely think. You're always thinking. If you've ever seen something and your brain did a thing, that's you thinking. It doesn't have to be words. It's your brain going, oh. If you've ever had a reaction to something, that's your brain thinking. Have you ever related something to something else? Have you ever thought about someone when something has come up? Yeah, that's a thinking. That's a thinking, my dude. Especially if you go into why your brain goes, you know? If you go, if I look at Lila, who is my chocolate-covered strawberry spider, and my brain goes, the question of why does my brain go, is because cute is cute, and it's exactly like my thing. It's like the thing that I am. It's spider and strawberry, and she's covered in chocolate. Oh my god, she's so cute. Yeah, introspection is really good for writing. A lot of people say that as a writer of like character works, you need to know a little bit about psychology, just because you kind of have to know how people do, like why people do the things that they do in the way, and you gotta know why they think and stuff like that. But yeah. it's easy for me, again, because I am the way that I am, and introspection and psychology and the way people think is like one of the things that my brain does automatically and it loves to do. That interaction only reaffirmed Valerie's suspicions. Don't cover up for him. It'd be cool if we heard about Valerie's suspicions in this part. Don't cover up for him, she said, crossing her arms. I'm not mad at you, I'm mad at him. He's gonna pay for this too. And explain council stuff to myself if someone is here. And I'm like, damn, my cousin is here. What? You love the dissing? Damn. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I get funnier the more tired I get. By that I mean I get meaner. The more tired I get of certain things. Anyway. I don't know, I feel like you don't need this. You don't need that. Get rid of it. Why were you even looking for him in the first place? Did he do something? He's... Boy, why you eyeing all this all the time? Just say things. God. I don't remember if that's a thing he does, but I know I'm doing it a lot because I'm having to think about things, but it does make him sound unsure of what's going on, which I know he is unsure of what's happening here. He doesn't need to do it all the time, man, my dude. Tooth eating it. Oh, it hurts too bad. Like really, really bad. Okay, cool. You could also do it without using his dialogue. You do, why are you even looking for him in the first place? Did he do something? His voice went up and down in like in pitch for no reason. You could reference the way he's speaking in your, which would be an action tag, yeah. And it would give a little bit more color, a little bit more spice. Give you something else to think, to imagine. Because you can do imagery with sound, you can do it with visuals, you can do it with smell and taste and touch and all of those things. And it doesn't actually have to be a character experiencing those, but you can reference those senses to give you kind of some stuffs. Spice it up. Read, figure out how other people do it. A lot of it is, hey, copy other people, do it. If you're looking for examples of how to do things, yeah, because it's so subjective to the actual content of whatever it is you're writing. You kind of have to figure out how it works and then apply it to whatever you're writing, or find specific examples of something similar to what you're doing and steal that stuff. Did he do something? Yes, he knows what he did. And now this! Sorry. That's... I've never heard a person talk like that. You could do, yes, and he knows what he did. The moment I find him, I'm gonna kick his butt so hard, he'll be the gone kind of dead. Okay. This will spend counseling my head to not wake up my poor cousin. Kid. That's so like me, except in my room quietly having a headache, getting a headache because my brain is I'm galaxy braining so much. Oh no. It's fine. I don't know, I'll find him now. He'll be the gone kind of dead. Yeah, okay, that works. It's a little clunky. I understand the urge to have specific jokes or lines or puns or whatever in writing. It works a little bit more if it's the narrative saying these things. Actually, no. Dialogue's actually pretty good because then you can kind of have a character say whatever and it's like, this is the character saying. but it's a little bit awkward. I don't know if, oh well, do what you want. I got so many jokes out. Generate heat waves, better version. Hey, your romance. Well, you definitely won't find him now. What? Nothing. Danny shoved Cujo in her arms and started walking off before she could even react. Turns around, does a tight, like, dime turn and just starts moving outwards. Anyway, I'll be going now. Gotta finish cleaning so Lancer doesn't kill me. Bye, Val. Bye. Wait, what did you just call me? In this case, I would have some also narrative reactions, some kind of thought reactions. Yeah, cause I don't know, it'd help. It'd be cool. Give me something else. Give me more. Give me some beef. Give me meat. Put some meat on these bones. You read your vows out loud and all of it. The look on their face is priceless. Nice. Danny stopped, frozen in his track. She stared at his back, bewildered. He slowly turned around and stared back at her too. His reactions are so weird. He's such a weird character. Why would you do this? Bye, Red Huntress. It was nice to meet you. I'll go disappear behind that corner now. He yelled nervously and booked it behind her said corner. He does a park and bark. He literally is a weirdo. Yeah, I'm saying. It took her a second to shake off the shock. Cujo jumped into her arms as she quickly followed after the boy. Danny! She ran to the corner to see what he did, that he did in fact disappear. Damn. She was sure he called her Val. I think if you're gonna have this and, cause say that he's like speaking really quickly, cause it's like, he's not even, cause it's not like he left. He literally sat there and was like, I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna look at you to make it very obvious I'm saying things. Might that be that she's kind of a dumb character, but, yeah. How did he know about her secret identity? She was always so careful. It did explain his weird behavior, though. He probably didn't know how to react around her like this. She needed to talk to him immediately. He couldn't just yell something like this and run off. Does she not have, like, his phone number or something? Though, that is exactly what he did. How did he even disappear like that? The boy's impossible sometimes. Made her dumb, yes. Glug-gug, not correct. There we go. Oh, like this. That's what it was. You have her commenting on him disappearing, and then her commenting on him disappearing again. It's a question this time. It doesn't really add much to it. So I'd probably cut, or like I'd do something about that. I don't know. I'd fix it. Why isn't it Strench anymore? There was never, it's never not, you can do Strench, it's just once an hour. You gotta do it once an hour. Phones don't exist, it's 2004, but he can do, first of all, phones did exist in 2004, you can get a flip phone, my dude. Second of all, he has TikTok. Strench exists. It's there. You can do it in one. That's fine. I did Strench. Did the rehab mess with your brain? Reality is an illusion. In frustration, she knocked her head on the wall a few times. Like, gently? Or like she like gently, or she like turned toward the wall, both hands on it, head back and smashing into the brick. That's what I'm imagining. I know that's probably not what you mean, but still, her thoughts got interrupted when she heard Cujo bark and yelled, "What thoughts? What thoughts? What's she thinking? What's she thinking?" I know she's thinking this. It just feels like, because you have this and then her doing this, which implies to me that this part is like already thought, right? So she's just knocking her head against the wall, and then that's it. And then she has her thoughts interrupted, but that's like a weird order to have that in. Brain empty thoughts. Banged her right there, stretch, but posture's a different one. Are you drunk, kid? Are you unsleep drunk? And by that I mean, have you been awake for so long that you can't think anymore? Bark and a yelp come from behind her. Turning around only provided her with even more frustration. She saw Danny McFrickin' Phantom lying helplessly under Cujo's once again big paw. Why must you do this to the hand that feeds you? Why must you do this to the hand that feeds you? He hissed Cujo before turning his attention towards Valerie. Hey, Red, you look very good today. Are those new arm plates on your suit? Danny Fenton could wait. She was gonna deal with this. With this first. You, she roared. Weird point to have a period. Would have a comma there, or exclamation point. Anyway, she was talking over to them. You know, you could do the period there, but I think I was distracted by this, the lowercase. Comma, nodders. Yeah, you could also do the period there, but yeah, you gotta format the rest of the sentence. You gotta do it all. She roared, comma, stalking over to them. Looked at her. Yeah, that's technically correct, but she's not stalking over to Cujo. She's stalking over to specifically Danny Phantom, because that's why she's stalking. Usually with something with a powerful verb like that, you don't have to, but if it's caused by one person, usually the implication is you're doing it because of this one person. Cujo's just the bystander. He's just there. Looked at her coming closer and switched to his puppy form again, laying his whole body on Phantom's chest, wagging his tail and barking excitedly. Lots of words. Give me some punctuation. Have you been looking for me? Phantom said, raising into a sitting position, even though Cujo was making it difficult for him. So instead of raising, I think, is technically right, but as you can hear, me and my native English speaker brain keeps doing is substituting that as rising into a sitting position, because that's usually what it's being. No, I think it'd be rising. I think it'd still be rising. But you could have Phantom said trying to sit up, even though Cujo was making it difficult for him. I'm going to end you, Valerie yelled, pulling out her gun and making sure to aim it at his face and away from the dog in his lap. I thought we had a truce! What did I do? You know damn well what you did. No, I actually don't. Sorry. Her just doing things without any kind of, like, thoughts to them is very funny to me. She let her gun disappear back into her suit and angrily knelt beside them. My brain wanted to go beside him because that's, you know. Picking up Cujo from his lap, she turned him around to show Phantom a card section of fur on his right back leg. On his back right leg would be the order. It's not incorrect, but there is like a instinctual order for adjectives when it comes to English that I don't remember what the because I was reading some stuff about writing and it was like they actually have like a set list for the order that is what most commonly used by English speakers, and I can't remember what it is right now, but it would be back right leg. I just need it. I just want it. Yeah, okay, never mind. Is there an order? There is. Reg said that to me. I'm tired, drunk, and monster drunk. Okay, kid. You were playing too harshly with him. Again. I found some singed fur on Cujo again. You were playing too harshly with him. Again. She put the puppy down so she could stand up, summoning her gun back and aiming at the ghost boy in front of her. So she's gonna kill him? I understand she doesn't like him. That's a lot. That's a lot. Also, kind of awkward. Kind of an awkward, line. Kind of an awkward line to have all caps yelling, I guess you could say. Would probably make more sense if she was like, his fur is singed. Again, you were playing too harshly with him. Again. Because you have to remember, this would probably not sound as weird if she wasn't yelling it. Phantom looked from the gun to her, at Cujo, and then back to the gun. If you're doing 2, I'd suggest keeping it to 2. So, looked from the gun to her, to Cujo, and then back to the gun. Listen, in my defense, he really likes fetching extrablasts. Boy, cool it with these. You don't have to write all of them down. You could put "there was a pause." You can write the words "there was a pause." You don't need all of these ellipses. Dodo. Yeah, she likes killing him. That's also canon. No caps. No, you can do caps. It's just make sure the thing you're putting in caps makes sense to be yelled. Like, when you're yelling, generally it's high emotion. So the word found and the word some, especially angry yelling, right? The word found and some don't strike as angry words. It's like saying bubbles when you're in an angry voice. It doesn't really work, and it's kind of ridiculous. It kind of looks ridiculous. That's not supposed to be a link. Nodders on my dots. Nodders on my dots. Noodles. Noodles. Ooh, yeah. You can do your dots. I'm gonna get tired of them. And by that I mean I'm tired of them. You're gonna be fetching your ectoplasm when I'm done. He's gonna be fetching your ectoplasm when I'm done with you. Weird thing to say. Maybe it's correct. I don't know. What were you thinking? He's not one of your vile rogue buddies. That's Rouge. I was like, no. Yeah, that's Rouge. That's the, yeah. He's a little puppy. He's a little puppy. Again, another thing that's hard to yell and sound. Yeah, specifically Lil is like a weird thing to yell angry. How many times have I told you to be softer with him? Gentler? Question mark? Bridge, do you like noodles? I'm Asian, yes. That man would yell bubbles, but yell bubbles angrily. Gentler, yeah. Yeah, so gentler and softer are synonyms, but it can be a quirk of the character you're writing to use words slightly wrong or substitute in weird synonyms. But if they don't do that in a kind of consistent manner or a notable manner, it just kind of sounds off. Valerie, with all due respect, that dog can chew off Skulker's head. He can take a few tiny burns. Separate sentences. Or like some kind of, these are 2 separate sentences. So this is, I think, a comma splice. I don't know what comma splices are, actually. So that'd be separate sentences, or you gotta add something there that connects them, the 2. So it'd be, the dog can chew off Skulker's head. I'm pretty sure he can take a few tiny burns. He doesn't even react to it. He defended, standing up to. Oh, yeah, no, that just feels, unnecessary. And also, like, I think I just read it that weirdly. Valerie, with all due respect, that dog can chew off Skulker's head. He can take a few tiny burns. He doesn't even react to it. He defended, standing up to. Oh, yeah. Comma. Or I don't know. I don't know. That's making my brain go, eh. I think it's like the length of this or the something like that. I don't remember. I can't tell. He kept his hands in the air as if as a sign of surrender. Can't he surrender? Surrender. He Can I just play catch with my own son? So he's defensive and then also surrendering, which don't tend to go together. Anyway. My throated? Can't I just play catch with my own son? Cujo barked from the side. Ugh, your son! You constantly leave Danny? Well, apparently you do that so often that he's more used to Danny's scent than yours. She yelled, irritated. We already know she's yelling. We know she's yelling, you don't need to tell us. That's probably what I was thinking. It's like, we already know he's defending himself. We already know she's yelling. You don't have to tell us that. I'm a ghost. I don't have a scent. He answered? He answered, uncertain before nodding to himself. Yeah, you're editing. That's what it is. It's the it's now a little less noticeable when you do said, because said is one of those words that does blend a bit more, like and the and things like that. But when you're using different dialogue tags, but you have it edited, your brain lodges onto ed, and it's like, I feel like I've heard that before. He defended, she yelled, he answered. Right? Anyway. Uncertain, before nodding to himself. You could also have, I'm a ghost, I don't have a scent. He questioned instead of answered, because that does make him sound uncertain, and then he can just nod to himself. And it... shorter form. Yes, I don't have a scent for him to find. Only material beings do, he added. Edited. Still unsure, and she swore she could hear him mutter something about being a genius. Which is weird, because she's heard him mutter before and say things that she's not supposed to hear. But those were in dialogue, so... Again, that's where, the POV thing kind of comes into play, because this makes more sense for it being in her POV, but you have... Where is it? Where is it? Oh, no, it's when he's Fenton again. She barely hear him mutter, I can't do this to you too. Actually, I guess, yeah, that one works. There was one that I was looking at that I was like, can you hear it? I don't know. Totally different mutter something. No, she, yeah. Sorry, I forgot these are different characters. Where are you? There you go. What? He couldn't sniff me out, and you and Henny are the only humans who have me on speed dial. They do have phones! So he thought that was the next best thing. Yes, that's definitely it. What? So he's saying, I understand he's a bad liar. What I'm trying to figure out his logic here. So he's saying that Cujo, the dog, understands phone speed dials, and the fact that both Danny Phantom and Valerie have Danny Fenton... Wait, no. That Danny Fenton and Valerie have Danny Phantom on speed dial, so that's why he thought that he should go after Danny Fenton? Bro, I'm confused too. Yeah, what are you telling me with this information? Your dog and he's lying, Cujo? No, it's him. Yes, no, I understand. I understand he's making nonsense up. But we don't have any narrative. We have dialogue proof that he's making no sense, but we don't got any narrative inference that he's making no sense. Give me some narrative stuff. Give me something, my dude. Yeah, it's true. Totally. He did good. What? What is he? Yeah, because she's confused here in her words, but not in her actions or anything else. And I'm like, the narrative would be a little bit confused. I'm confused. I'm reading. He did good? What is he doing? Okay, whatever. Give him a treat. He deserves it. He's a good boy. The puppy barked happily. Yeah, you are. Phantom crouched to coddle Cujo. Your mother just couldn't see it, but don't worry. You're cool. Dad always got your back. There he goes again with the family. Stuff. Valerie slumped defeated and hid her gun. Hid her gun? Not put it away. She's hiding it. Ugh, stop saying things like that to him. We're not a family. She groaned. Yeah, well, yeah, we're divorced. We never even dated. As far as you know. He looked up at her with his dumb trademark smirk. Okay. What that's supposed to mean? Again, there's not much going on. It's just, they're just saying things at each other. Which I know is how a conversation usually works, but they're just saying stuff. They're not, like, doing things. I'm gonna keep repeating that, because there's not... I don't know these characters enough to be like, would they do that? Would they... Sure, that's how your interpretation of them goes. Sure, why not? What that's supposed to mean, because what the actual frig did he mean by that? Nothing, he stood up quickly, picking up Cujo to shove him in her arms, and whoa, did that give her deja vu. Wasn't she trying to kill him for burning the child? Also, why was the child being burned? Isn't he a ghost? Can ghosts be burned? Anyway, I have to go. Can I have a rain check on that? I'm very busy right now. What? No, she protested, trying to keep Cujo from looking her face. Get back here! Bye, Val! He yelled and flew off before she had the time to react. She turned her gaze down to Cujo's pleading eyes. Yes, they can. Okay, you're bad with tags? It appears it's hidden. Okay, cool. Why not? Turn her gaze down to Cujo's pleading eyes. Alright, she pulled out a dog treat from her tiny storage in her glove and gave it to Cujo. I'm trying to imagine that, because hands are not that big in the first place. Oh no, does she have like long gloves? She have like long gloves, and then that's where she's getting apartment from? Because I don't know what she looks like, my dude. I don't know what she looks like. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, maybe, yeah, whoever reads this will get it. I don't know. She put him down on the ground so he could devour the treat in peace inside loudly. Phantom ran off like a little binge. Apparently, Cujo couldn't sniff him out. He'd just go to Danny again. Wasn't she also trying to find Danny, though? Weird, though. I get you've made her stupid, but... Cujo literally finds Danny Phantom, like, catches him after, like, did she forget about that, or, like, what? I thought she was supposed to be, like, smart. I thought that was, like, the thing with Valerie. I thought she was smart. Like, up to the elbow later? What? She's dumb? What? Cool. Make her stupid the entire... You had to have a talk with that boy. She didn't trust him not to tell anyone, but she needed to know how he found out in the first place. She'd make sure no one else can find out the same way. She'd probably give him a bit of time before she gets Cujo to stalk him out again, though. Can't you, like, talk to him at school? Do they go to the same school? Don't they go to the same school? If everyone is dumb. Okay, cool. Last of the water. That's the last of the water. There's some things like, yeah, you can be stupid, but like there's some logical things that are, why don't you, because she knows that she's Valerie, right? So because in this, it's not that it does not imply that she thinks there's a possibility he knows her secret identity. It's that she knows he knows her secret identity. So it's like, just go to him as you, because it's easier. You know where he does she know where he lives? You know who he is. You know his sister. Like, you go to school. Wait, no, next item. Way to finish. Oh, she'll deal with Danny at school tomorrow. Okay, cool. But why is she saying this then? This is literally what she's gonna do? Dude, like, that's not what I'm getting from this. From what she's saying, she's gonna get Cujo to do something, and then, like, dude, what are you doing? I don't know, thoughts, are you sure? I don't know how thoughts work. You can think. Thoughts are like talking, but inside your head. The puppy had finished his little treat and was now looking at her with his cute red puppy dog eyes. She couldn't hold back the smile that overtook her face. Whatever, she'll deal with Danny at school tomorrow. Why were you trying to get him to stalk, Cujo to stalk him then? You already knew this. It's not like she's figuring it out or like realizing, oh, she'll talk to Danny at school. It's like, she already knew this. Dude, why didn't you just say that in the first place? Anyway, I know Phantom whenever she sees him next. Sure, come on, Cujo, let's go home. It was on the way home that a sudden thought hit her. I love reading other people's word choices. It does not make me trip up at all. Also, reading my own word choices. Damn me, I guess. Did Phantom tell Danny about her identity the same way he did with her dad? I don't know the context with that. Also, that's too many without punctuation. Did Phantom tell Danny about her identity the same way he did with her dad? Sure. You know what? Sure. Oh, that's what that... I think in considering, it was considering. But you already knew about it. It's not like information she just realized. Anyway. Does that answer your questions? Here, we'll do this. It was raining. Was she? That's not what I was saying. That's not what I got. Considering doing what? Talking to Danny at school or getting Cujo to stalk him? The dog. Getting Cujo to stalk? But she's not, though. I don't have water. She's not, though. She's saying she should probably give him a bit of time before she gets Cujo to stalk him out again, though. That's not a considering thought. That's, I'm going to do this, and I'm gonna give him some time before I get this dog to stalk him out. You know, because she's going to do stuff. Yeah. Like, that's not what you're saying. This is not what you're saying to me. This is not what it's telling me. This is another thing where it's like, the reader doesn't have your head. So I understand that you are thinking, oh, she's considering getting Cujo to stalk the boy again. Danny again. Fenton. Danny Fenton. Again. She's considering, and she's, okay, I'll get a snack in a second. She's thinking that, oh, maybe she'll give him some time before she maybe gets Cujo to think. But with the word choice, I'm like, oh, so she's doing this. Okay, so she's gonna do this. And also, she doesn't have a conclusion to this, so it's not like, she probably give him, it's just like, she might do this, blah, 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 Cujo, blah, 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 blah. There's no conclusion. It doesn't need to have a conclusion, but, with the word structure, the sentence structure, and the lack of conclusion, it's like, oh, she's gonna do this. Oh, but then she's also gonna deal with Danny at school tomorrow. Why? Just do one. Anyway, snack time. I'll be back. If you want to pick one of my fics, or you can also pick longer fics if you want to, if you want. Just I'm only gonna read certain scenes for them. If you want to pick something like that, we can talk. We can go through mine, and I can be mean to me. But I'm gonna get some snack. Single snack. Bye bye. Anyone have any suggestions for what I'm reading for my own stuff? We can talk about my reading or my writing. Also, I got a snack. Frozen granola bar. Because then I can go over, like, my thought process. Just more organically, I think. I'm not picking. I might. You know what? Let's look through my... Look through the things I wrote. Sounds like a you problem. "27 things." Also, I'm so bad at summaries. Some of them are good, or like some of them are pretty good or pretty okay. Others of them are so bad. Okay, maybe not so bad, but none of them suck. Ayo. It's also nice because it's I think it's more useful to do stuff like this than for me to just kind of... I can't teach you how to do good summaries. I'm not good at them. I think it's more useful for me to do stuff like this where I'm actually taking a piece of your writing and then talking about it, because then it's your stuff and I can reference things that you're doing other than me trying to vaguely figure out what you want me to talk about. You're actually not mean at all. OMG. Yeah, no, I'm less mean when I'm talking. If I write things down, I will be more mean. The first pass is, first pass is hard to be mean because I'm getting distracted by words on the screen. But, yeah, things written down makes me more mean. And get me more, and, like, Text bridge is meaner, that's why mod bridge is mean. Streaming also makes me more polite. I also have less patience. I have so much less patience. Hey, what do you want me to read? What do you want me to read? Why are you scared of me? What do you want me to read for you? Some of them are like, I'm like, I don't want to look at this. It's bad. Also, Text Bridge concurs. That's true. Y'all, what? Here, we'll just bring up my AO3. Pick a thingy. I could also technically do any of my OC things, like my original works, but pick a thingy for me. I know I haven't read anything from you, Everbridge. Yeah, I know. I know that Debbie has read all of my DSMP stuff. Oh, gross. We have the Clansman. I say gross because it's my writing when I was much younger, but it's actually some of the later stuff is not as bad. Oh god, no, but like the first one I read it more recently, and by more recently, like 2 years ago, and I remember being like, ooh, I've gotten much better since then. Maybe I should I'm gonna cringe so hard, but maybe I should read one of the old things just because I have more insight now and I can be like, I'd never do that now. And I can also, if you read the thing I was working on but never actually finished, I don't know if I have it on my computer anymore. Do you want me to? I don't want to. I kind of don't want to. Oh, read your old stuff? Yeah. I'm thinking that might be more helpful, because then we can, talk about... Oh, new thing? Okay, never mind. Then we can talk about the stuff I did before. I have 8 fics. I have 8 class fics. 2 of them are 10k plus words. No, 3 of them are 10k plus, and then the other ones are shorter. God, I don't want to read them. Passbridge? Yeah, it's not great. Do you want to pick something for me so I don't have to look at it? What's Ko-Fi? It's, give me money. I say Ko-Fi, it's supposed to be coffee, because it's like, yeah, you can donate, like, small amounts of money, like $3, to pick. The worst one's probably one of the first 2. Yeah, no, because I think the other ones are when I got better. We'll see the, yeah, 2018, 2019, 2019, yeah. The other ones are, like, chugging my words around you. Oh, and then I'm not gonna read the long fix, because it was, like, 2018 was Ghosts and Carnival Games. Choking on my words around you was actually well done for the most part. Like, I'm actually pretty proud of that. Even now, there's things I would definitely change. Like, some things are stupid, and I was like, why did I put that in there? Pick the worst one. I don't know which one the worst one would be. It would be one of these. This is fully self-indulgent, because it was my birthday and I wanted to write something for me, so this is all the self-indulgent stuff. But as you can see, it kind of did well. This one is the first thing I ever wrote, and the first fan fiction I ever posted. I've ever publicized, yeah. So it's this, yeah. So which one do you want? Like cringy self-indulgent stuff, or do you want like, oh, this was an honest, earnest attempt, and it came out like this? We'll go with these because they're relatively short. Someone give me some feedback. If you can hear me, clap your hands. Where's my phone? There it is. None of you are helping me. Guys. We're going with Sound Sweet, actually, because no one's saying anything, and I like that one better. I'd open Carnival Games, but, like, I don't want to look at it. It's actually kind of embarrassing. It's not, it's fine. But I don't want to read it, so I'm not going to. We're gonna do this one, because I can. Sounds Sweet by me. Lance is crushing real hard on these. Sorry, the client's nostalgia has got me. I miss them. I miss them a lot. They meant so much. They mean so much to me, but damn, okay. Lance is crushing real hard on the only employee Hunk has hired, his bakery. He doesn't know how to deal with his feelings, so he decides to rant about it in his podcast. That would be on his podcast. I got it wrong. The title is just because the working title was literally just Podcast Bakery Hate You, and I thought it coincided with both things well enough. I don't know how to do titles. I don't know how to do titles or summaries. I don't actually know if ogling is spelled that way. I think it is. I don't know if I edited anything back in these days, back in the wild, wild west of me writing. No, that's right. Okay. Stop ogling my employees. What? You only have one. Exactly. Stop it. It's creepy. You're lucky he hasn't noticed. I'm back, the puppy is pissed. Okay. We're rating Sound Sweet because this is, again, self-indulgent. Very self-indulgent. So self-indulgent. My birthday fic to me. I don't know if you can hear me stalling in my voice, but I'm stalling because I'm embarrassed. It's fine. It's cute. It's a little bit stupid, but it's cute. The ending, I think, is dumb. The ending is kind of dumb. I wouldn't do that now, but... Clans, I know. We got some void dialogue, but it's short. And it's the start, so, you know, it's fine. Whatever. I'd probably change... Interesting thing about reading these back now, because this was, what, 2019? Yeah, 2019, so I was... 16? Ah, my ear. Yeah, I turned 16, so it's 4 years ago. It's an interesting thing, because I would word these things differently. So I'd leave this, Lance, you have to stop ogling my employees. Lance's response would be, what? You only have the one. And then I'd add more to this. You're gonna see, I don't know if you can tell scrolling through it, it's a lot more bare bones than I write now. I write quite a significant amount more. There's not a lot. Imagine being 16 in 2019. Anyway, this is part of the thing. Anyway, exactly. Stop it. It's creepy. You're lucky you didn't notice. That's about it. It wasn't his fault that Hunk's only employee was gorgeous. His job was really only to clean up and move things around, which meant he was just constantly showing off how strong he is. Lack of punctuation. What are you doing? Again, this sentence would reword it now. Really only to clean up, and then he was just constantly showing off, would not have those. It's a bit... Weirdly enough, that's too many words, but I would still, if writing it now, would have more words. I would have more in the sentence. I would also be, like, describing what the bakery looks like. I would have some atmosphere there. Fully don't have that in this. This is my kind of bare bones chat. 4 years ago, I've gotten better. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna rewrite one of these things one of these days. No, never rewrite the things I write. I will never go back and rewrite things. You know how artists will do the drawing the same thing every whatever years? I'd never do that. I'd never do that. I could never. Lance has spent the majority of the week in Lance, who spent the majority of the week in Hunk's Bakery. I wouldn't use commas here. I'd use the long dashes. Got to watch as the dark-haired beauty pushed and lifted and bent over things. Gross. That's on purpose. He's supposed to be kind of, Okay, maybe it was a bit creepy. Acknowledge it. Thank you, narrative. Acknowledge it. But it's not like the guy even ever noticed. Bakery was almost always filled with people, and he always had headphones on. The only person he ever seemed to hear was Hunk. Speaking of Hunk, you know, you'd probably get to do more than ogle him if you got his number. Hunk! But we're friends, and I happen to know he's extremely single. Hunk used his name too many times. It's just another thing you can do. Use a person's name too many times. Imagine rewriting, actually. Imagine writing it all. Imagine writing. Yeah, exactly. Damn you. Okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna do a quick stretch. Another thing about it being my writing, like I was cringing a lot in the start in the beginning, but being my own writing, so it's already something that I like. Me already knowing this is gonna be super self-indulgent, I'm like enjoying myself. I keep forgetting that I like my own writing. Anyway. Hunkering up another, yeah, it's so bare bones, god. I'm like looking at him like, where's the rest of it? Hunkering up another customer and took his pastries out of the oven. He smacked the back of Lance's hand when he tried to take one. He might not even like guys. Have you ever thought about that? I would put have. Have you ever thought about that? He watched as Hunk's mystery employee cleaned off one of the booth tables. He had a few pairs of headphones, and today they were the red and black wireless ones. He was using them like a headband, pushing back his bangs. A few pieces of hair still hung in his face, but it was cute. I just had to like her own writing. Can't do that. You just gotta write for you gotta write for yourself and yourself explicitly, and then like, yeah, no, that's it. I'm like, yeah, it's stupid, but it's cute, okay? Oh, yeah, actually, here's an example of, using narrative things to imply feelings about the characters. In this, again, bare bones, but in this here, we have Lance noticing things, and the way that it's being described in the narrative, even if it's not specifically, Lance noticed that because it's in his POV, you get the idea that he's the one who's thinking this stuff, right? So he's saying that Keith had a few pairs of headphones, and today they were the red and black wireless ones. So he's noticed that Keith has had several headphones and has noticed enough to know what they look like. He's using them like a headband, so he's noticing little things about him, and he's calling it cute, or yeah, the narrative is calling it cute, which is implying that Lance is the one who's calling it cute. And then, again, thing I do where sentence in by itself to offset him getting distracted and watching, Keith, no, he's super gay. Doug, again, using his name too many times. Lance turned back to him, his face going red. What? Hunk said, leaning against the counter. He had that stupid knowing smirk on his face. Stupid hunk. From 1 and 362. 361. Hey. Oh, I'm so fond of this of my writing. There should be more of it, but I'm fond of it. You'll tell me that, but you won't give me his name? Lance scooted his chair forwards a bit and slumped against the edge of the counter. Again, example of me not saying anything. We only find out now that Lance is sitting in a chair in the corner of the shop. So in my brain, it's like the cafe, and then there's like the sitting area, and then on one side there's the counter, and then behind that's the bakery, and in the corner between the wall and then the counter is where Lance is sitting on a chair, and then I don't have any description of that, and it's like, wow, you really didn't want to talk about it. You really didn't want to describe anything, huh? Okay, I'm gonna lay down because it's like 3:30 and I'll be lurking until I sleep. Love you. Love you. Adrenaline is essential of. Okay, have a nice night. Sleepies. Bye-bye. Sort of slumped on the edge of the counter. Well, he's pretty open about it. Not so much his name. He's got a rainbow pin on his leather jacket. No, that's fine. It's narrative. Or it's dialogue. That's fine. Kind of weird. Detail? That's, I guess, I'd say. That's why this is kind of the thing that I remember being real stupid, is my descriptions of outfits, because I was falling into that fanfiction trope of being real knowledgeable of outfits and then nothing else. He wears leather jackets? Well, maybe he just likes rainbows. It says in big block letters, yep, I'm gay. again, more things where it's implying Lance's feelings towards mystery persons, Keith. And again, more void dialogue. Damn. Yeah, I really don't not have anything there, huh? Lance's face got brighter. Hey, spelling error. I think I mean brighter as in redder. I know that people use that sometimes in reference to flushing and blushing and things like that. They'll use bright, but I don't use that anymore, so I don't know why I used it here. Or I guess I don't use it anymore. He turned to look at Hunk's employee. The man had gone behind the counter and was hauling crates of flour around like it was nothing. Hunk, I'm gonna die. You could probably bench press me. He's gonna kill me. Lance was whining to his arms, not noticing the strange looks he was getting, or not caring. I mean, probably. On his resume, it said that he could comfortably lift, like, what, 60 kg? And you're like, 75? I don't know why I used kilograms here. They're American. These characters are American. I could have used pounds. Just carved it into my gravestone. Here lies Leandro Charles Alejandro McLean Hilberez, murdered by a gorgeous stranger. He's so dramatic. I forgot these characters. I forgot I like these characters. I forgot that I like these characters. Now I rate them. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I turned off my screens. Oops. I hope that didn't register. Okay. Lance. Hunk sounded farther away, so Lance lifted his head. He was putting another tray of goodies in the oven. Just go talk to him. You're good at that. It's literally your job. Hosting a podcast is different, Hunk. I don't have to talk to real people, and if I do, they can't see my face. Fine, but if you're gonna mope, scoot back into your corner. You're scaring my patrons. Lance pouted and he pouted again. Do something else, man. Give me some more description. Scoot his chair back into the corner to not mope. He wasn't moping. He wasn't. I would have put a dash between that to imply that this is like a one idea. He watched as the gorgeous, I don't know why I'm saying would have, as if I didn't write this. I would. The reawakening of your old hyperfixation. I'm not doing this again. We're not going back there. He watches the gorgeous dark-haired stranger worked. When I describe him, I was always looking at that and being like, do I need commas there? And the fact is, yes, I do. Commas or dashes or some kind of something there, some kind of punctuation thing. Worked putting away boxes, and if you see, I tried to use different adjectives because I was like, yeah, I can't refer to them as the same thing. So I did try to repeatedly use different adjectives. Or when referring to Keith. Worked putting away boxes and restocking the displays as people took food. At some point, I don't think he washed his hands between that. You know, it'd be cool if I had more description so I knew time passed and he didn't just immediately go to stock food. Wow, that'd be so cool. At some point, Lance probably realized how creepy he was being and probably turned his head to look down at his phone, a dark red blush consuming his face. This man was already blushing, but, you know, it's fine. He couldn't even focus on the game on his phone. Oh, yeah, me being unspecific with things is a thing. I still have that problem now, but I definitely had that problem before, where I would just reference characters doing stuff and be like, yeah, they're doing this, and then skirt around just the edge of talking about it without actually talking about it because I'm annoying like that. It's good, though. It's great. He sighed, turning it off and tucking his phone into his pocket. Stop using the word phone, God. Looked down at his phone, he's scamming his phone, turned it off and taking his phone to his pocket. Reading always helped him clear his head. This is me just inserting myself into this. That's stupid. I wouldn't have this here. I'd have him do something else. I'd have him type on his phone. You don't need to have a notebook here. That's me just being self-indulgent. He looked to see if Hunk was busy and then took his notebook out of a secret compartment in his bag. Out of a secret compartment of his bag. Would have in. As much as he loved Hunk, he was nosy. He was nosy and would no doubt read through the whole thing. It wasn't even that the notebook was like a diary or anything. It was just there. It was just where he wrote ideas for his podcast. But still, he didn't really want other people to read it. Lance flipped to a new page and began writing down everything that was in his head. Stupid line. I don't like it. Give me something else. Write something else. I could read. This is to me. This is all to me, so I don't have to get myself to reword this stuff, but it's such a cliche, read on everything that was in his head, and I'm annoyed by it now. I'm annoyed. I'm sitting up straight. Also, the podcast dialogue is cringy. I did write this in like one day, this entire thing, and then I didn't edit it because it was my birthday fic, but stupid. Hello everyone, it is I, your wonderful host, the Blue Paladin, and I just want to say thank you for turning into Voltron. Lance moved his notebook closer to be more easy to see. Easy to read, man. Where are you? Are you doing this? These are like vignettes. Oh, also, if you can see, this was before I learned my current formatting style, so you will not see any. You might see some parentheses. I actually don't remember if there are any, but you'll see these things, which I used to do my scene breaks before. And then sometimes I'd actually use the scene break tool, but I don't know if I do it because I would like have specific times where I'd do the scene break tool versus when I'd use these before I got my current formatting. Yeah, before I learned my current formatting, so it was really weird. But yeah, like, where are you? What do you do? Like, what does it look like? It is a vignette, which gets referenced later on in the story, because we do have vignettes where it cuts back to him in a podcast where it doesn't really have much description. It's mostly just him talking, and that was on purpose, because I wanted to have that kind of, sprinkled throughout the fic, whereas, like, where to infer time passing, but still, this is the first one. You have more information here. Give me something. Hyperfixating so hard on history right now. Good for you. Today we don't have a special guest because this topic is a little bit more personal. What is this? Oh yeah. You also see me putting commas in really weird places. I don't know why. Or at least it's something more personal to me. Today's topic is love. Specifically romantic type feelings, but I'll also touch on platonic and familial love later. You see, I'm a pretty romantic person, I think, and by that I mean I get crushes really easily. Like, really easily. Yellow Paladin would know, and I've gotta say, it sucks. Here's the thing. I don't know how to do feelings. I'm bad at talking to people. And before you shake your head and say, that can't be true, let me explain. I'm bad at talking to people I like / am attracted to. You guys don't understand. I can flirt and chat with people that I think are cool and it'll be fine, but as soon as someone I like walks in, boom, I can't speak English. I'm just a nervous wreck around people I like. Like, generally, I'm a confident person. Some the yellow and green paladins may say I'm overconfident, but not around my crushes. When I'm being shy, it's suddenly stop moping, you just go talk to them. Yeah, no. Like, I've literally only dated one person, and that's because they asked me out first. Like, seriously. And I mean, Liquid Courage does its work, but this is a family-friendly channel, so I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, there's currently this one person I'm crushing on, and let me tell you, he whistles into the mic. I really, really like this person. Granted, I've never talked to this person. I'd put different punctuation there. But my friends do know them and are saying that they're really great and super cool, and like, they're super cute. Like, you don't even understand. Like, wow. Oh, God. Yeah, that's not even. I think this was before How can you like someone you never talked to? I don't know. I don't know how crushes work. This is me referencing movies, stories, other people that I've met who are like, yeah, this person's super hot and I like them. And I'm like, I don't know, sure, why not? It's attraction, I guess. I think this was before I'd really cemented the idea of what Lance as a character was like. Because this is like my third fic. But yeah, his character is just me in situations. My characters are just me. My characters at this time were literally just me in situations. But he was also very American teenager the most out of all of the cast. He was very American teenager, so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? We'll go with them. I love to talk to them and get to know them, but I'm a mess, so oh well. Anyway, enough about my sad crushes. Let's talk about friends. This is a weird line because he said he'll touch on platonic and familial love, but he doesn't even continue about romantic love. He really should have, if I was thinking about this now, I'd be like, I would have him just continue to talk about romantic love and then imply that we're talking about friends and family later on, which is what the original sentence said anyway. Anyway, thanks for turning into Voltron. Tune in again next week. We'll be talking about something completely new and impromptu. Bye! This is the only important information. This is the only important information because it's implying that every time we cut back to the podcast, it's been a week or something. Time has passed. Lance said as soon as the mic was off, that was a fun podcast. He got to humiliate himself, but at least only a few people know who he is. He'd gotten sidetracked a few times. Got. Too many. Stop it. He'd gotten sidetracked a few times, but that's usually what happened, and people still tuned in to hear him. Me when streaming? Dude, me when streaming, though. And people still didn't hear him. This time, however, he kept going back to talk about his crush, which kind of sucked because he didn't want to alienate any of his audience by just talking about romantic love. Well, too late to change that now. Another thing that happens more so in my older writing, but sometimes now, is me kind of injecting my ethical and moral and, like, trying just like, oh, this is like the correct, because you know how teens, especially weirdly enough younger teens who are on the internet a lot, go through like a Puritan phase, like or just like, oh, all things that are said and all things that are created have to be correct, like morally and ethically correct. And this was me injecting that mentality, and now I'm like, no, bro, just have opinions. Bro, just have opinions, dude. You sound so unnatural. Rule of Britannia. That's so funny. Yo, calm down. Anyway, well, too late to change it now. Also, this is a live podcast. I don't know why. I don't think I knew what a podcast was. I was just like, he has a radio show, but I'm gonna call it a podcast. That you were like that doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean everyone was like that. Yeah, exactly. Also, these are like adults in this, and you can to me, things like that make it very clear that this is like a younger, or like this is like a kid writing, or like a younger teen writing it, because I was 16. I wasn't even a younger teen, but like a teenager was writing it. This is someone on the younger side, because it's not like the sophistication of the writing or the plot or anything. It's just like those little things, those ideas that creep in that I'm like, oh, no, I know what this is. It's, bro, just have opinions. Bro. He was back in the bakery. He was studying. He swears. He really was. It's just that Mr. Guy was wearing a crop top and what was basically leggings, and he was talking to one of the customers and smiling and laughing and... Wait, he's talking to someone? Getting surprised. I would not have these commas here, actually, because I'm doing polysyndeton, where you just the repeat of and the commas just break it up and does not help with the kind of stream of consciousness thought pattern that this is trying to imply. So I just removed the commas. No commas here. Lance blinked, and yep, he was right. Pretty boy is chatting with a buff Adonis-looking guy, and he was smiling and laughing, and suddenly Lance wished he was a lot closer to him because he wanted to hear what he sounded like. He saw Hunk stalking one of the shelves. Psst, hey, Hunk, he whisper yelled to try and put a dash there. Again, so bare bones, God. Grab Hunk's attention. Where are you sitting? Are you sitting near the counter? What are you doing, sir? He whisper yelled to try and grab Hunk's attention. Who's that? Pointing to where the mystery employee was. Oh, that's just Shiro. Comma. Shiro, he mumbled to himself, trying to remember if he'd heard that name before. You know, they're really close, Shiro and my employee. Lance was too caught up in his fact that that the two were close to realize that Hunk almost said Mystery Boy's name. Shiro made Mystery Boy laugh again, and Lance dropped his head on the table to stop looking. Oh, another thing. Weirdly enough, weird thing that was true in the start of my writing, my refusal to use the word man, I don't know why. It's really weird. It's weird. It's so weird. God. Anyway. Okay, so I know that this episode's theme isn't supposed to be crushes, but geez, the person I'm crushing on is actually amazing. Oh, yeah, no, this too. Me trying to just... This is stupid. There's this little kid who was crying, and they went up and comforted the kid and helped them find their garden. I mean, they're attractive, kind, and good with kids. Still haven't spoken to them, though. That... God, it's so... It's just, like, the me inserting just like general good things, and I kind of get it in the beginning where Lance is literally just staring because he's hot. Cause man, derogatory question mark? I don't know. Possibly? I'm not in the headspace anymore, so I don't know specifically. I don't think I liked the sound of the word man. I was like, that doesn't fit in the sentence, so I just didn't use it. Anyway. Guy and boy and dude and things like that. But yeah, me using general positive traits, even if it's like, I don't think that character would do that. Because I don't think Keith would do that. Especially, like, go out and comfort child. So it's just like, yeah, no, you're being a teenager, huh? Okay, cool. You're letting that affect what you're writing. Gross. It was a slow day at the bakery today. There was a pretty heavy downpour, so it made sense. Lance had only seen a handful of customers in today. God, stop using the word day. And he'd been there all morning. He had tucked into the booth. I also think I keep using... I think it's correct to be using, perfect past here, but it's also annoying to read, personally, because I feel like it's not right. Anyway, I still don't know how to do tenses, okay? It's hard. He had tucked into the booth in the corner of the bakery and was sitting wrapped in blankets and playing on his phone. Bad sentence. It was really quiet in the shop. Oh god. Me not having any description and just it's gross. I'm still having fun. I'm annoyed. My writing's annoying me. If I was reading this for the first time, I'd still read it, but I wouldn't read it back again. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting from my own writing here. As he sat there, Mystery Boy pulled out a chair and set it in front of one of the windows. He wasn't wearing headphones. One of the windows. He wasn't wearing headphones today. I would also not have these all be separate sentences. I could condense some of the stuff. Like these I could definitely condense. I might have condensed this or like wrote some other stuff, whatever. This I remember having trouble with because I had a very clear image in my head of what he was doing, and I was trying very hard to make it very clear what he was doing, but I couldn't get it to sound right. Because what he's doing is sitting backward in his chair, elbows propped onto the back of it, and then head resting in his hands. I don't even have that here, that his head's resting in his hands, or like on one of his hands, because I was like, I can't make this not sound clunky. I can't do that, so I had to cut some things out, and now I'm just like, you could have done something else. You could have written that, you could have actually written that idea out, made it sound better, but you don't know how to write, so, oh well. He flipped the chair around, sitting down in it backwards and resting his arms on the back of the chair. Lance could hear a sigh as Mystery Boy watched the rain. What was he doing? Mystery Boy turned towards him. Shoot, he didn't mean to speak out loud, but Mystery Boy was watching him with his big, beautiful eyes, and damn it if Lance didn't want to talk to him. He cleared his throat. What are you doing? Smooth. I like doing that in the narrative, having it judge the character. Oh, I'm watching the rain. It makes me feel calmer. I like the sound of heavy rain. Sure. Sure, that's a thing people can say. Again, don't know who this character is. I don't think I was worried about characterization for Keith. I know I had it relatively okay for Lance, but yeah, I just struggled with Keith with writing Keith, which sucks because he's like the other half of this pairing. His voice was deeper than expected, but oh boy, what a voice it was. I like Rain too. Mystery Boy smiled at him. Give me something else. Give me some. He was strangled. Give me something. Smiled at him. He opened his mouth to say something, but was interrupted by Hunk calling for help. He smiled at Lance before he disappeared. He smiled at Lance again before he disappeared into the back room. Crush update, because apparently I'm doing that now. We talk regularly now. Ew. Which is just, wow. Their voice is just the nicest thing, and they're even cooler than what my friend said. I'm really happy, you guys. It had been a few weeks of talking, but there was a problem. He still didn't know Mystery Boy's name. Mystery Boy somehow learned Lance's, probably through Hunk, the traitor, but had never introduced himself. Lance didn't want to ask. What if he gets mad? Lance doesn't know and stops talking to him because of it. God, that would suck. Speaking of which, Lance. Oh hey! He turned to see Mystery Boy walking up to him. How are you? Great. Shiro came over last night and met my dog. They instantly loved each other. Oh yeah, Shiro was his brother. Thanks for that, Hunk. Not. I like to say that my writing is quite different from what it is now, but reading this, I can very clearly see where my writing came from, because there's a lot of this where the narrative is very clearly Lance, like it's his thoughts, it's his POV. It's a little bit like a conversation with the narrative and the character, where they're kind of having that back and forth. It's a little bit quirky. It also sounds strongly like fanfic. It is strongly fanfic. I don't know if you know this, but it is fanfic. Yeah. Yeah. Weirdly enough, this was a time when I read more. Actually, no. I read not as good stuff. And I hadn't consumed a lot of different media. I think the most other media I consumed was like Marvel movies, which is not great. But it is very much like fan fiction, and it's very clear that it's kind of childish. I want to say inexperienced. We'll go with inexperienced. But I like to compare it to how I write now and see, oh yeah, these are things that I did take and I do have. Marvel, you? No, really? Yeah, shut up. Like, these are things, even if it's not specifically word for word, even if I wouldn't have written it like this now, these are things that are very much, oh yeah, that's definitely me. Like, me even using these parenthetical comments instead of using italics, which is what I used for most of it, is very much actually a thing I do now, even though I stole that from a writer that I didn't know at this time. So it's fun to see those little things that I've carried over. Also interrupting dialogue with not dialogue, things like the character thinking or something else. Me doing that. That's a thing I do now. I think it's fun. So I wanted to know, would you want to go out with me? Hunk said you'd want to, and I think you're really cute. Don't know who this character is. That's like the worst part, I think. It's been my old writing, but it's somewhere. But it's like somewhere. It feels really embarrassing. Yeah, old writing is embarrassing. This is online. I'm not removing it. I'm still quite fond of it. The characterization of specifically Keith is so bad, which is why I didn't write in his perspective, because I really couldn't do him. I couldn't write him, so I didn't write him. I did all I could to not write him, which is really, really funny. Because he's my favorite character in the Cho. He's my favorite character, and I had no clue how to write him. I was like, I'm gonna avoid it. And so that's why all of it's like written in Lance's perspective. And a lot of the bulk of my writing is his. I think that's actually also why I've gotten so good at writing like the in between, the non-dialogue stuff, because I was trying to avoid dialogue so much with Keith specifically, because I didn't know how to write his personality, that I would focus on, because I'd usually have Lance be the main character, or the POV character, I'd have him think more and consider his surroundings, and I think that's where it started for me, because I was fully trying to avoid conversations. It's very funny. I'm 60% sure the one story I'm thinking of is literally first story, I knew what a furry was. About like 3 wolves, I didn't know what a furry was. I think you're already exposing Yukai. They're just normal wolves. I'd have fixation on wolves for a while. Yo, one of the universes I created was literally characters who were people, like human people, sort of, but a subsection of the population, like a small section of population, were shifters. I think that's what I called them. I don't know. And they would have, in their human forms, some weird, like, they often had some kind of, tell that they were shifters, so they had some kind of animal part. Donnie, who is an avian, or it's like an avian, I don't actually know what their I have like the notebook, but I don't want to grab it because it's dark and I can't read it. But she's a bird person, and so her nails are like talons, and she has wings. They're too small for her to fly right now, like when she's a person, but she has wings, and her hair is red because she's a red bird. And then when she's in her animal form, she's just a larger version of that bird. And I had that for, like, all the animals, and there's also just humans, and it was like, yeah, no, in my notes, it's just the furry universe. But I invented that, and it was fun. It was like a sci-fi, or magic kind of thing. I had a lot of magic stuff. Anyway. Yeah, sure. He smiled at him. Cool, give me your number and I'll text you the details. Mystery boy handed. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't realize that. I used his name. Another thing that sometimes happens, actually, that I'm just being reminded of now, sometimes other authors, or other fanfiction authors specifically, will have a thing where the POV character does not know the name of the other character, or does not know who the other character is, maybe because they're blindfolded, or they're deafened or something like that, and then they'll use that other character's name even though the POV character should not know that information. And that's one of the things where you have to, like, take care to know whose POV this is, because even though this is technically third person, it's weird that the character who is doing most of the thinking, and so we're seeing things mostly in his perspective, that he's sometimes using that person's name, but he shouldn't know that. Anyway. Hello, boss. But I'm not a furry, I think. Haha. Didn't know what that's cost. Okay. Mystery boy handed over his phone and Lance typed in his number. There's a buzzing in his pocket. When you check, get a text from an unknown number. Wow, really? I didn't know that. XXXX. It's me. Did you get my text? Lance looked up and Mr. Boy nodded. Great, now we both have each other's numbers. I guess I'll see you later. I have to get back to work. Not the thing people say. This isn't how people speak. Learn better. Be better. First the white monster, now this. Lance nodded again and waved, sending him off a small bye. When he's left, Lance went outside in the parking lot to yell and dance around in excitement. It's so stupid. It's so fanfiction. I was being indulgent. It's fine. It's fine. You can cringe, but it's okay. Crush update, guys, I got a date with them. Oh my god, yes, man, I got their number and we've been texting and I'm so excited, guys. But bad news. Still don't know their name. It might be bad, but hopefully we'll go to a Starbucks or something and I can learn their name. Funny enough, this actually is a reference to the fact that a Tumblr post that I saw, not on Tumblr, but like on Pinterest or something, I think it was a Tumblr post at least. It was like, if you ever forget a person's name, just bring them to Starbucks to get, and then, like, to figure it out. And that's what that's a reference to. It was date day. Lance was super nervous. He had jitters and he couldn't stop moving his leg, but it was a good thing this time. God, it's so... Fursuits are so expensive. It's an art form. He was so excited for the date. Stop talking. Stop talking to me. I don't know why. This is so annoying. Okay. They were meeting outside the bakery because it was easier for them both, and apparently it was close to wherever they were going. I was leaning against— oh god, this part makes me... This part makes me hide in hands. Hide in my hands. Oh no. Okay. Because I remember how this ends. The beginning part of it's not that bad. It's so stupid. It's stupid. It ends really badly, really cliche and very cringy. On his phone, when he heard the rev of an engine, he looked up and there was a mystery boy pushing a red and black motorcycle. I wasn't kidding, he was wearing a leather jacket. He took off his helmet, tossing his hair out of the way. Double frick. He kicked out the kickstands and got off the bike. Went over to Lance. Hey, ready to get going? Yeah, but I don't have a helmet. Lance tucked his phone into his pocket. Yeah, I figured. Don't worry, I brought two. Take this one. He thrust his arms out, offering the helmet to Lance. Why don't you just bring the other one for him? If you're... I think this is me showing that I didn't research and didn't know, but oftentimes when people do things that require safety equipment, but they do it regularly, they'll get their own stuff and it'll be like, not necessarily fitted, but to them, but if it has like adjustments, they'll adjust it to their head. And so it really is a stupid idea to, if you have multiple of one thing, to give yours away. Like, why are you doing that? Just give him the one in your storage. Yeah. Lance is gonna take it when he noticed the pins on Mystery Boy's jacket. There was a "Yep, I'm gay." There was the "Yep, I'm gay" one, a trans flag, an alien head, and is that a Voltron pin? Yeah, I love that podcast. Why? Triple frick. Lance meant to keep his face neutral, but he could already feel the blush creeping up on his neck. He buried his face in his hands to try and hide his embarrassment, but he didn't think it worked. It's just stupid. It's not wouldn't have him react like that now. Dude. Dude. Lance, what's wrong? Well, might as well tell him. I'm the paladin, he mumbled. What? I'm the blue paladin, he repeated much louder than he intended to. Thankfully, no one was there to witness it. Except for Mystery Boy. He blinked before his eyes widened. Wait. Lance looked up. Am I your crush? Lance blushed deep and he shoved his face harder into his hands before he nodded. So you don't know my name. Nod. Nothing happened. This is all void dialogue. What are you doing? What is happening here? But also, you can see how quickly this scene goes by when it's just dialogue. I'm like externally and internally cringing. It's great. No, he felt the hands rub on his own and took them off his face from the look in Mystery Boy's eyes. I think you're pretty amazing too. He leaned and gave Lance a kiss on the nose. He pulled away, getting back on his bike. Come on, we've got a date to go on. Lance climbed on the back of the motorcycle and put the helmet on. Thanks for not thinking I'm weird or getting mad at me. Don't worry about it. He put on another helmet he got from somewhere. Lance wasn't paying attention. He held onto me tight. I like going fast. Lance secured his arms around Mr. Boy's waist and braced himself to go. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Boy looked over his shoulders, revved the engine. His eyes flashed. I'm Keith. It's so stupid. I think it's so stupid. Yeah, this is before I knew how to make links. It was written because it was my birthday and his has like all my favorite tropes. Really? It doesn't. Because my favorite tropes, with this specifically, I was going with hidden identity and just mostly an identity. But it was like I like superhero version of that. But the superhero fic I was ish writing, for this, or for clans, I never finished. And I'm like, thinking about that now, and I wrote, I think I'm at the time I was like, I wrote so much for that, Now thinking back to it, I maybe wrote 2,000 words for that, and that's not a lot. That's not a lot for my standards now. Anyway. You had a meet and greet redacted at a meet. Oh, you had a meet and greet. You had a dream that redacted had a meet and greet and showed up in a bridge fursuit. I'd totally do a meet and greet in a bridge cosplay where you can't see my face. That's a lie. I wouldn't. I turned up as a spider. The fursuits are really cute. The artists. The work is adorable. The ice is melted. How do I block? Oops. What did furries do to you? Bridge, give me mods so I can ban kind? No. Live in peace, I ain't even a furry. I'm just comfortable enough in myself that I can admit that some stuff it's like I'm comfortable enough in my sexuality to admit that guys are hot. I remember the artist's name, but they're like fursuits are really cute. They make insect suits. They look sick. Insects are cool, but furries, Kai, you're better than this. I like how neither of you were paying attention to what I'm talking about. Neither of you were paying attention to me reading any of this. I do want to read my bookmarks, actually. I want to see if anyone put anything in my bookmarks. No! You're just people. Let's read the comments. My insides are amazing. God, they're all kids. You're such a talented writer. Liar. Podcasts like that, cute and short and soft. It's just supposed to be cute. It's just supposed to be cute. Oh god, this is for someone who read this in 2022. I remember seeing that and being like, oh god, good lord. Good lord, you read some of my more recent stuff, and then you read this, and you liked it as well? Like, okay. I just don't want to have Kai going down the wrong path. They do, just not near me. Rip. Anyway, that's me being mean about my own writing, sort of. I think I need to go to sleep. God. I hope you guys got anything from this. That was fun. I don't want to look at the second half of this VOD, but that's fine. Anyway, if y'all are here, thank you for coming. If y'all stayed, thank you for staying. I was using the y'all, so I got confused. If you're here, thank you for coming. If you stayed, thank you for staying. I'm gonna go. Good night, sweet prince. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye.